Hello and welcome to another update video about Algorand. Oh dear, another coin that keeps dropping in line with expectations, I need to say. I know it's not good news, but only 5 days ago I made the last algo video. We were sort of here halfway down, I think around the 20-cent region. I showed you the descending trend line here within a descending wedge, the descending broadening wedge, yeah, where at some point you ideally expect to move up from here, but we were here halfway, and I mentioned to you that it would be ideal now to get back to the support line and that there was nothing remotely bullish there and that we would expect further drops. And yeah, we reached the support area, saw a bit of a bounce, nothing major, another touch, saw a bit of a bounce, even a weaker bounce and another bounce. So here we need to be, also here on the algo chart, we're getting into a situation where really the bulls need to come back or we get deep into trouble. The major support on this chart is the 10-cent level. Yeah, from now, obviously, it would be quite a bit of a drop. We are now at 17 cents, so you're talking about here 36% drop still. That would take us down to that level. The problem I have is I'm getting concerned, and I don't find it unlikely that we will drop below that level. And in that case, well, to a degree, it would be a good thing because, as I mentioned before in these videos, I'm not happy with the count to the upside here of the March low. It looks extremely corrective, and unfortunately I will probably have to change here at some point my expectation to that we will go below 10 cents. The thing is, I can tell you that now, but it doesn't really make a difference because I wouldn't go long here anymore in any altcoin really until we see a solid wave, until we see a solid 5-wave structure to the upside. 3 waves down. Yeah, be very careful with dollar cost averaging into any project other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, but that's entirely up to you, of course. No financial advice. That's at least what I'm doing. I am very careful with all of these coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, yes, I put a bit of DCA in, but I also wait for a confirmed bottom, or I wait for a significant, lower low at least. That would give some serious confirmation that we are at least closer to the low that I expect, because for Bitcoin as well, I do expect still lower lows, as you know. So my view is, if Bitcoin is still expected to drop into the 14 to 14.5K region, what are all these altcoins doing, right? What are all these altcoins doing? Bitcoin made a bit of a bounce in the last few days. Ethereum as well. The altcoins didn't do anything. Nothing. They even drop further. So that's a bit of a concern. And well, if we count this as an ABC structure to the upside, which is entirely possible, it's actually very easy to do that. Very easy. So I could just count that as a wave A down in a B, and then a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in an ending diagonal of a wave C. Absolutely possible. And then we would be looking here at a 5-wave move down, and in that scenario, we'd be looking at a 1-2 setup here. And well, actually, I would need to look at this in terms of a 1-2 here, small one, and we have another 1-2 here, which would mean that if I just quickly look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means this wave down here would only be the 3rd wave. There would be another 4th and a 5th down. Yeah, and that could take us below the 10-cent level. But this is currently just one possible interpretation. There's a bullish and a bearish one. The problem is that the lower we go, the bearish one really gains in probability. But I mentioned it before that I don't like this move to the upside. And this might now all become a problem. Because if you can, I mentioned it many times before, generally across cryptos, there are some other coins that look similar, like AVAX. Luna looked similar. Near as well. Yeah, it's this choppy price action to the upside that happened here after the March 2020 low. This isn't great. And if the move up starts to look more corrective than the move down, then it's a bit of a problem. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the message here continues to be, guys, we continue to head down until we see a signal, because otherwise you're just catching the falling knife. So we just need to be patient here. There is currently no sign that this is reversing. We do have some early signs that the downtrend is getting exhausted, yes, but I believe this is only temporary at this stage. We have seen these 5 waves down as indicated. We have really come down to the support of this descending broadening wedge. And this is now the time where it needs to reverse in order to, well, how do we say it? So it should, you know, if it drops any lower, it's probably going to go down below 10 cents. That's sort of the message, yeah. And then where's the bottom then? Because then you're losing all critical support. However, if we were now reversing to the upside, then we would have to assume that, well, ideally, there's 2 options then. Ideally, the bear market low is in. I mean, do I really believe that from the bottom of my heart? No, not with Bitcoin still being expected to drop to 14 to 14.5K. And to be honest, it is really annoying. I feel a little bit like at the moment, like, I mean, we've got all these coins that don't show any bullish movement to the upside at the moment, yeah. So obviously the analysis has to show further downside, because without any, even the smallest signal of bullishness, the downtrend is obviously still at play. So I feel a little bit like, you know, in the first half of 2022, where I was just talking super bearish about all cryptos. People called me perma bear. And then at least we saw some signals that, you know, the altcoins were recovering. Nothing substantial, unfortunately. There's a few coins that still look decent. Quantmatic, for example. I've got still a few long trade setups here and there. But it goes back to the situation where we might really be heading into final capitulation for these altcoins soon. You know, maybe there will be one more substantial recovery. And I see signs developing for that. For example, here, we have a bullish divergence, not only on the 1 hour chart. I'd be surprised if it was only on the 1 hour. No, you see it on the RSI, on the 4 hour chart as well. You see it on the daily chart. Not yet. Okay, no, on the daily we don't see that. No. But it just has to mean, it just means sort of, you know, on the 4 hour, for example, we're making lower lows here. And the RSI is already showing upside, which means the downtrend is getting exhausted. Yeah. So from that low to that low, we see a bullish divergence. Now the price has, at least at the moment, made a higher low. But I think this will break as well, to be honest, because it's a double bottom, absolutely not reliable. But the point is, as I just showed you on the larger chart, if we really make one more larger move down, if the move up from March 2020 was just corrective, and this move down currently is impulsive, then you are waiting at least for one more larger wave 4 to the upside before we come down once more in a wave 5 to the downside. But let's say going long now without any signal would be difficult, very critical, and it could mean that you just lose your money if it just keeps dropping. Yeah, because there's also not really at the moment a level where you could set your stop loss below. I mean, of course, you know, you could set, if you went longer, you could set your stop loss below the previous low. It's absolutely low probability that this will work out, because there is currently no signal that this is stopping. And the next major support, in my opinion, is down there at 10 cents. I mean, we can add the VRVP. Let's see if we see anything else, additional volume, but no. I believe we looked at the VRVP before when we were around 30 cents, and we talked about below 30 cents, there's a huge insufficiency there. So if we drop below that level, it can go downhill quite quickly. So yeah, not good for Algorand, unfortunately, as well. I'm sorry about all these news. We just have to take it level by level and evaluate whenever we make a new low. Do we see any signals that the downtrend could be stopping? Because then at least we have some short-term long setups, or I mean, at the moment we still have a short setup here in place. Yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this ABC to the upside. We talked about the descending wedge here. Talked about the target down there, and the downtrend is still ongoing. You know, anybody who really entered a short could start to take some partial profits or move down the stop loss. You know, have a trailing stop in place or something. Because at some point, are we so much oversold, you'll at least expect some sort of a correction to the upside. But you see how long, unnaturally long this wave 5 is. I start to think it might only be a wave 3. Yeah, in this wave 5, for example, in this yellow wave 5, you let me just move that. I mean, you can see we had a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This, depending on how we interpret this, This could have just been a wave 1. And then here 2. We're now coming down in 3. And due to the impulsiveness, right? And then maybe another shallow 4 and another 5. And again, as soon as we then put some kind of a wave 4 in place, we can calculate target for the wave 5. Looking at possible retracements now for a wave 4, just to give you a rough estimate. If we bottomed here, you would expect some kind of a retracement to the upside into the region, maybe 19.5 cents as a maximum. That would be quite strong, but it wouldn't be surprising, because if we extend out now the descending broadening wedge, we could certainly get to the 50% retracement, touch the resistance, and then come down once more, maybe even, well, to that 10-cent level I talked about. But that would be really, really, if you go down that much, it would be massive capitulation, I believe. Let's see. So if you see some kind of a bullish candle, something, then it's most likely wave 4, and I'll keep you updated. Alright, that's my update about Algorand. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.